Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining, and welcome to our first Knowledge Bite webinar with CCFS and Edwards. My name is Kathy Tabor, and I'm the Executive Director for CCFS. Today's webinar is called Upgrade Your Campus Safety, Discover the Power of EST4 Life Safety System. Just a little bit about CCFS. We're a national nonprofit member-based organization dedicated to campus fire safety since 1999. We're governed by a 12-person board of directors that are located pretty much nationwide. The majority of our board and our members consist of fire marshals on a college campus, a university campus, fire safety educators, inspectors, government officials, and city-owned fire departments that have a responsibility for a local college. Now I'm going to introduce our presenters. Katerina Tichenko is the product manager for aspirating smoke detection, and Chris Hill is the controls product manager.
Thank you, Kathy. So my name is Chris Hill. As a controls product manager, I'm going to be covering mostly EST4 with Katerina going into ModuLaser. So we're going to the agenda here on the screen. We're going to discuss how upgrading can provide better technology and lower costs. We're going to give an overview of the Edwards EST4 fire and life safety system, including the versatility and flexibility of the system. We're going to go over the latest enhancements of the EST4 system. We're going to deep dive into what ConnectedSafety Plus is and how that can be a benefit. And then lastly, Katerina will take it away with a look into EST4's newest integration with aspirating smoke detection using ModuLaser. So upgrading is one of the most cost-effective ways to take advantage of our newest innovations Edwards has to offer without the complexities of purchasing an entirely new system. Edwards' philosophy of protecting our customers' initial investment is demonstrated by ensuring our newest system, namely the EST4, reuses many components from its predecessor, EST3. This backwards compatibility allows our customers to migrate to our newer platform that includes more runway for growth and capability at a fraction of the cost when compared to a new system installation. It also transitions customers to newer technology and higher performance, which consists of networks that expand up to 150 nodes and capable of accommodating 375,000 signature addresses, 200 audio channels, and cybersecurity to the outside world, which is now required and expected in connected systems. The versatility of the system becomes evident in sites where it's deployed, whether it's a small single node system or one that encompasses an entire college or university campus. Its flexibility is also evident on how easily it can adapt to site changes when additional buildings are added, no matter the location within the facility. Today, I'd like to take a deeper dive into EST4's capabilities that can help increase your campus safety, your peace of mind, and how it can be a cost-effective solution. I'd also like to share how we've enhanced EST4 over the years to meet your needs, including a look into the most notable features. And then Katerina will share how the ModuLaser aspirating integration can provide a scalable, seamless, and cost-effective solution to your campus. So in 2019, we launched EST4, introduced innovative solutions to address fire safety risks encountered by every size and type of facility, while at the same time complying with all the required codes and standards. Some of these features include flexible network configurations. The flexible network gives options for how multiple panels can physically connect. 200 digital audio channels. Edwards was the first to introduce 8 channels of digital audio, which is now industry standard, but EST4 moved the bar higher by offering 100 audio channels and then now the flexibility of 200 digital audio channels. The IPv6 based network, this is a self-configuring IPv6 based network option that does not require a network administrator to deploy, making it easier to implement on your campus. It's modular, so EST4 can be installed and be built out however that you need on your campus. And installation cost savings. the capability of delivering 3 distinct signals across the network. So you have panel-to-panel communication, audio, and fire phone data over the same network on a single pair of wires or a single fiber strand. We have a new color touch LCD screen, which replaces physical switches and makes that user interface easier. We have remote connectivity. EST4 is remote connected ready with an optional web servers and can provide reports to a web browser. We also have ConnectedSafety Plus, so you know before you go and can monitor your life safety system off-site and through mobile devices while on-site. We have a firewall, and this offers that protection proxy firewall to prevent cyber risks and is part of the fire panel. And lastly, ModuLaser is our aspirating detection solution that will directly integrate into EST4. Katarina will cover that in more detail later in the presentation. So talking about the network configurations, we have a lot of different options available. You have Class A, star, tree network, Class B, redundant, and mesh network. So we have a lot of different options for configuring this with full mesh over copper, fiber, or Ethernet cable. So this adapts to different site needs. We've gone from 4 fibers to 1 fiber to reduce the total connections to make it simpler, and from 3 pairs of wire to 1 pair to reduce the total of copper connections compared to EST3. So this just makes it simpler to deploy and more flexible depending on the campus solution you have. One of the parts I talked about was the cybersecurity. So we have the firewall to prevent any intrusion from cyber threats on outside the network to protect the EST4 system within the network. This uses advanced encryption standards over that firewall. And in Q3 of this year, we're going to be IEC certified. This is a specific cybersecurity certification, third party, that shows the compliance for these cybersecurity threats. So this protects against cybersecurity threats. It's our gateway to the outside world. So it's that firewall is protecting anything from getting onto the network. And it's enhanced system capability beyond the alarm network. So we have between the panel and the 4CU, all those communications between the panel and fireworks, between the panel and central station, any email servers, SMS, or gateways, between the building management systems, web services, and ConnectedSafety Plus, which we'll go into a little bit more. Before we talk about ConnectedSafety Plus, just wanted to highlight some of the most recent enhancements with EST4. So our latest major release was 7.0. With that, we got 150 nodes that you can have on a network and a number of other improvements that we have for cybersecurity updates and firmware configurations and Windows 11 support. Most popular and notable enhancements were the ability to have this new remote application called Edwards ConnectedSafety Plus, which helps manage and maintain the EST4 fire systems remotely, and we'll talk about that some more. We also got a nuclear certification in August, and we also have the integration with ModuLaser, so that Katarina will dive deeper into the ModuLaser solution, and now I'm going to talk about a little bit more about ConnectedSafety Plus. So ConnectedSafety Plus is a great solution for helping to monitor your system remotely or mobilely while you're on site. In today's world, we believe technology should help enable you to work smarter, and we're trying to make that a better experience through customer outcomes and make commercial buildings more advanced. Edwards ConnectedSafety Plus provides 24/7 service and maintenance, fire system monitoring, views critical alarms, provides tools for digitally optimized inspections, and helps resolve issues before they negatively impact occupants' experience. So you have a proactive view of your system and any issues across your portfolio. You have real-time reports and analytics for connected asset health, predictive maintenance analytics to know when something's about to go wrong, and connected inspections exceeding compliance requirements and reducing overall inspection time and cost. So part of this is the Manager Plus dashboard, a single dashboard that you can view to predict and prevent false alarms, increase first-time fix rates, and view real-time intelligent event notifications. And it's scalable for all sites. So this gives you diagnostics, maintenance reports, troubleshooting, all done remotely or mobilely while you're on site. This increases system uptime, reduces overall total cost. It's cloud access to compliance reports, 24/7 access to your system, configurable real-time event notifications, and the predictive lifecycle cost and forecasting, reduced false alarms for less disruptions, and other features like the Tech Support Plus that can dig into problems that you have on site. So now I want to introduce the latest integration we have with ModuLaser that seamlessly integrates with the EST4 and then some of the key features of this ModuLaser integration. So it's cost effective. ModuLaser integration eliminates the need for multiple modules such as the USB hub and HLI, extensive wiring and complex configurations. So now the EST4 can integrate directly into the ModuLaser detection at a fraction of the cost, saving potentially thousands of dollars on installation and allowing customers to allocate budget where it matters most. Second, easy integration. It's using a Modbus TCP IP connection for an elegant integration directly into the EST4 ecosystem, directly over a single Ethernet wire. So ModuLaser integrates into new or existing EST4 panels using that connection and a 4-AST CPU. We can also reuse existing hardware. We had this existing 4-AST CPU for integration to other aspirating systems, and with an upgrade to their firmware to 7.1, you can use that same piece of hardware without buying any new directly into EST4. So this maximizes the efficiency of your EST4 system without the need for costly replacements. And lastly, it's a scalable solution. So whether ModuLaser is being deployed in a small facility or a large complex facility, this latest system integration scales to meet the needs. With support for up to 30 ModuLaser networks per EST4 network, while accommodating up to 3,360 detectors, you can trust that our integration will grow with your facility. And with that, I'd like to take some time to pass it over to Katerina so she can talk a little bit more about ModuLaser.
Thank you, Chris. Hello, everyone. For the second portion of today's webinar, we're going to look at the integration between the EST4 panel and Edwards aspirated smoke detector ModuLaser in a little more detail. And first, I'd like to give a quick overview of what ModuLaser is. ModuLaser is Edwards aspirating smoke detector, or as we abbreviated ASD. Like any other aspirating smoke detector, it has an inlet pipe through which it samples the air in the protected area. It has an aspirator on the inside, and it has an exhaust pipe through which the sampled air exits the detector. However, unlike other ASD solutions on the market, ModuLaser is, well, modular. So each detector has only one inlet pipe compared to the standard 4. This design allows ModuLaser to be more flexible in its installation. It enables to install each unit closer to the area it protects, and that reduces pipe and installation costs. And this makes our detector highly cost effective, as you only need to purchase those modules that you actually need to protect your area. Additionally, ModuLaser has a unique environmental compensation algorithm built into it, as well as dust discrimination algorithm. And both of these continuously monitor the sampled air and make incremental adjustments in the alarm's sensitivity levels to minimize any occurrences of false alarms. And on top of that, we are UL 268 7th edition listed, and we've been listed to that new standard since 2022. Now let's take a bit more, let's talk a little more about the actual integration between ModuLaser and the EST4 panel and why it is such an exciting solution for us. So historically, integration between aspirating smoke detectors and the panels was achieved by programming of relay contacts. This approach can be manageable if you have one or two aspirating smoke detectors, but as the number of devices grows and the system increases in its size, the programming of and wiring of relay contacts can become cumbersome and costly very quickly. So with this, we are excited to announce that we have launched a direct integration between our EST4 panel and ModuLaser, which not only eliminates the need to program relay contacts, but also removes the requirement for expensive high-level interface hardware, which we see with other ASD solution integrations. The only equipment that is needed to connect our ASD system to the EST4 panel is the 4-ASD CPU part, which is a PCB component that reads event information from the ASD detector and is mounted inside the EST4 panel itself. And the connection itself is made via an Ethernet cable on an IP or a TCP network using the Modbus protocol. There are two configuration options that are available with this integration. The first option involves one ModuLaser command module. Command module is a central processing module that connects multiple ModuLaser detector clusters. And in this scenario, the command module must be installed within 20 feet of the panel. The second configuration option offers redundancy by placing two command modules on the loop and connecting both of them to the panel. And in this setup, the Ethernet cable can be longer, up to 328 feet. The panel can read all events coming from ModuLaser detectors. It can reset the system, disable and enable individual detectors, view fault and warning information, and display the detector's smoke level in a graphical representation. And I think the best way to demonstrate how this works is through an actual demo. So we've prepared a short 6-minute video demonstration of this integration, which I'll show next. And we'll discuss the applications for this integration afterwards. I hope you enjoy it.
The 4-ASD CPU allows for communication between the EST4 system and the ModuLaser command modules. That is done through Ethernet connectivity, and there are two Ethernet ports on the ASD CPU, and they connect to the primary and the secondary respectively. And what we would like to show you today is that communication between this system and the EST4 system. All right, so what we're going to show you is a fire alarm event that comes into the system, and we're going to do that by using what's called a smoke pen. It introduces smoke into the aspirating tube. Thank you. Oh, okay, so the fire alarm event is now in the EST4 system. It has been communicated from the primary command module on the ModuLaser system. And if we step over here, we can see the details of the alarm. What we see here is it's detector 4, which is the detector that is an alarm on our ModuLaser system. It gives you the active states. We have an L2 alarm, an L3 supervisory, and an L4 monitor active state. It also gives you the smoke level that we currently have in ModuLaser address number 4. Okay, so that was our smoke event. So what we're going to do is we're going to reset the system and show you that the reset comes from the EST4 and is communicated to the ModuLaser system. All right, the system has reset. And as you can see, our ModuLaser system is now clear of the fire alarm event. All detectors, as well as the command modules, are showing green. So the next thing that I would like to show you is the actual communications between the command module and the EST4 system when something happens to that communications. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break the communications to the primary module. Hit the trouble tab, and as you can see here, there's a communication service, which is the generic trouble, and then we have the actual, it's telling us that command module 1 is the one that's no longer talking. So that would be the primary command module. And when that issue is corrected and communications is reestablished, that trouble will resolve. And as you can see, the trouble is now gone. All right, and the next thing that I would like to show you is how the EST4 system can send commands to the ModuLaser system, and I'm going to show you the disable command. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to hit the ModuLaser disable button. All right, so as we see, the command has been sent because we have the disable tab showing on the EST4 system. And as you can see, it is going to step through and disable all the detectors that are on the ModuLaser system. All 16 detectors are now disabled. As you can see, each one is displaying an amber triangle, which indicates a trouble. And it's all across the system, as well as the command modules and the display modules are also going to indicate that trouble, which is actually a disablement, but is shown as a trouble. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-enable those detectors. Okay, so the command has been sent because, as you can see, the disable tab is no longer there, and it will step through and re-enable all of the ModuLaser detectors. All right, as you can see, that command was also successfully sent. All of the detectors are now back online. As you can tell, the trouble indicator is gone, and the green system is present, as well as on the standard and the minimum display, as well as the primary and secondary command modules. The last thing that I'd like to show you is that we can also do that through the user interface. I have to sign in. Okay, and then we're going to go into the project tree, and we are going to pull down until we get to the ModuLaser detectors within the project tree. And here we are. So I'm going to do detector 4, which is the first detector on the top row. Okay, and as you can see, the disable tab comes in, the trouble light comes on, and over here we have a corresponding trouble indicator on detector 4, as well as that's being indicated on the standard minimum display and the command and secondary command module. So, and then just to undo that, it's the same process, except just hit the enable. I re-signed in, I hit the enable, and as you can see over here, it is now back online and is indicated by the rest of the command modules and display modules, as well as being indicated over here on the EST4. Thank you for your time, and that ends our demonstration of our ModuLaser aspirating smoke detector system. Thank you.
All right, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the demo and saw how seamless the communication between the two systems is. So now I would like to review what are great application examples for this integration. And I know many of you on this webinar are campus fire professionals, so I'd like to keep my examples related to that theme, although you will see that many of them are applicable to other scenarios as well. So the first set of applications includes large volume spaces, which are very common in schools and universities. These include atria, food courts, auditoriums, performance centers, sports facilities, and indoor practice facilities. These large spaces often have very tall ceilings and are prone to smoke stratification, where warm air near the ceiling creates an invisible barrier that prevents smoke from reaching the ceiling. So traditional spot type detectors mounted on the ceiling will not work in these scenarios, but ASDs can have pipes installed vertically, which makes them an excellent solution for these types of applications. Next, we have unique applications that are well suited for ASDs due to their specific requirements for maintenance, accessibility, or visual appearance. So restricted areas like science labs or operating rooms often found in campus science buildings or hospitals are challenging to schedule for detector maintenance because they are frequently occupied or they're very closed or restrictive to outside visitors. ASDs, on the other hand, can be installed outside these rooms, while the sampling pipes are installed on the inside. So when it comes to do maintenance on the detector, there is no need to enter the actual protected environment to perform that maintenance. Other areas like gymnasiums or historic libraries, theaters may prioritize visual appearance, or they can also suffer from smoke stratification due to those tall ceilings. So ModuLaser is a good solution here as well because we can install transparent capillary tubing with our detector, which makes it practically invisible to the naked eye. And last but not least, we have operations facilities such as computer rooms, refrigeration rooms, warehouses, and elevator hoistways, which may be challenging to maintain or require very early warning smoke detection to prevent extensive property loss. ModuLaser, again, is a great solution here because it effectively meets very early warning detection criteria, and it also makes detector maintenance easy by installing the unit outside these harsh environments and extending the pipes on the inside of these environments. And with this, I would like to share some additional resources with you before we turn it over to the Q&A session. So the first one is our professional services and solutions brochure. If you are interested in upgrading your current fire alarm system, our professional services team is here to assist with access to the Edwards network of experienced professionals in our partner network and also on our internal teams. We can assess your unique needs and guide you through the upgrade process. And also you can reference the brochures on the right-hand side if you would like to learn more specifically about the solutions we covered today. The top brochure covers the upgrade from the EST3 panel to the EST4 panel. The middle brochure will talk more about the unique EST4 benefits and features, and the bottom brochure will talk about our aspirating smoke detection solution ModuLaser. And with this, I'd like to thank everyone for your attendance today, and I'll turn it over back to Kathy to do the Q&A session.
Thank you, Katerina, and thank you both, Chris and Katerina. How many cards, and you talked about that in your presentation as 4-ASD CPUs. How many cards can I put on an EST4 panel?
So we can accommodate one ASD CPU card per panel. However, the overall EST4 network can host up to 30.
And another one, can you explain how the ASD is connected to the EST4 panel?
Sure. So it's connected directly from the command module to that card 4-ASD CPU using a Cat5 Ethernet cord. And in the slides that I covered today, I talk a little about the length of that cord or cable, I should say. So when we share the slides, you'll be able to see a little more detail about that.
What is the square footage that ModuLaser can cover?
So ModuLaser can cover up to between 10 and 15,000 square feet per one detector module, and that varies depending on your installation requirements, whether it is very early warning detection requirement or a more loose requirement that you need to cover with your detector.
Does the EST4 comply with the Build America, Buy America requirements?
Yeah, so there are some components, the Build America and Buy America is some of that is based on the U.S. only, and some of it's based on North America. So it really depends on the SKU and the arrangement because EST4 is a complete system. But we do have components that do comply to that. So if you have a particular question, you can reach out to me, and we can make sure that we can get a system that will work for you.
Thank you. Thank you both for presenting. Thank you everyone for attending.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.